You better believe it. Shout out Def Jam, we the best. You know what it is? It's 2010, baby. It's the takeover. I'm going in.
Happy New Year to the whole planet. God is the greatest. Real talk. And you know, I mean, if there's anything that somebody can say better than that, I'm all ears. But with that being said, continuous blessings to the whole entire universe.
Big shout out to my man Drake is in the house. Fabulous is in the house. This little brotherly love. My biggest brother with all the boss, Ricky Ross, is in the house. Ricky Ross report to the drafts. DJ Khaled, he's the best. He's in the house. Tiana Taylor is in the house. My brother Chris Brown, I'm escaping with him for thick and thin. Chris Brown is in the house. You know what I'm saying? The song ain't right, so I know Chris Brown is in the house. Big shout out to my son Quincy, my son Christian, my son Jeff.
The verdict is in, but the storm around Sean Diddy Combs is only getting louder. After weeks in court, he walked away cleared of the most severe organized crime and exploitation charges, but found guilty on 2 serious counts involving the transportation of individuals for illegal purposes. The conviction still carries the potential for decades in prison, and sentencing is set for October. Yet even as the gavel fell, another name was exploding online: 50 Cent. From the start, 50 has been playing a very different game from Diddy's other critics. He's been teasing a so-called list of people connected to Diddy's alleged private world, claiming it would shake the industry if ever made public. For years, it sounded like trolling, just another example of 50 stirring the pot for entertainment value. But after the guilty verdict, the idea of that list stopped feeling like a joke. Now it's become a key part of the conversation. Who's on it? How much does 50 actually know? And is he really prepared to drop it all? 50 didn't waste any time. Moments after the verdict hit the news, he was online, throwing out pointed comments and reminding everyone that he had been warning about Diddy long before the trial.
You got close when he offered to take you shopping.
Yeah, you see, Amika's in the same shirt. He's out there in the same shirt. This is not Photoshop. Stop it. You set that up. Look, obviously was not offended by what I was offended by. Guys may say to a girl, you know, like, let me take a shot. See?
Damn.
They found it that quick.
What do you think is happening in the middle?
I don't know what is going on there. Because it was like, he was like, yo, you hot now. Now we got to hang out now. Like, you know, like hang out.
Yeah.
He said, I don't know, maybe I take you shopping and I get you some flash and you could give me the hood. And I was looking and I was like, let me just move away from him because I'm gonna mess up the way. Certain things they let it go by because it's Puff. He wasn't like in the closet, he was like in the hallway.
All these years, you being the only one calling this out.
I look like I've been the crazy guy for a long time.
They say you're a hater. They say you're crazy.
You do this, yeah. And now everybody's complaining. My ass is hurting.
You and Puff haven't liked each other business-wise for a long time.
But that's why it's only business. It was really away from that. I explained why I didn't hang out with him, right? Because it's a little fluffy stuff going on.
It's not your scene.
It's not my style.
Not your scene.
They hug you from the front and the back at the same time. I got uncomfortable with him because the way he was acting to try and get me to hang out with him was like, yo, I'll take you shopping. Like, and I'm like, what you mean? Like, that's something you say to a woman you're attracted to, maybe.
Right.
It's just weird, bro. Like, and now you start to see a lot of the weird stuff that was there. It looks like it all lines up, don't it? It was not in the closet. It was in front of you and you wasn't seeing it because you see the beards or you see the girls. So you didn't look at them the way it actually is to a degree. Now, like, and when I say people respond, how people respond to things matter. Like the internet will take to it and just go off with it. Meek responds being the uncomfortability. He goes, "Yo, nah, I spend $100,000 to find out why my name is in this like this, and it's in it only because he's uncomfortable." You don't hear him talking about French. French was right there.
Yeah.
Right. Why you get so quiet? You guys make me feel like I'm so scared.
Well, no, I mean, there's a lot. There's a lot.
No, they see this. You see this. They see this.
You see it.
Nah, you see this. They won't act like that. Oh, we got nothing to do with that. If we could just...
No.
He promoted his upcoming Netflix documentary, which he's hinted will dig into exactly the kind of industry secrets this case has brought to the surface. The speculation about what or who that project will expose has taken on a life of its own. The trial itself was already a headline machine. The list of potential names that jurors might hear in testimony read like a Hollywood red carpet. Michael B. Jordan, Mike Myers, Kanye West, Ellen DeGeneres, Ashton Kutcher, Jay-Z, and Beyoncé were all mentioned in jury materials. The court was clear that most of these names were not accused of any wrongdoing, but the problem with fame is that public opinion doesn't always care about the fine print. Once a name is linked to a story like this, people online start connecting dots, whether those dots exist or not. Kanye West made things even more complicated by showing up in person to support Diddy. It was a bold public move given the charges on the table and Kanye's own history of legal and media storms. For 50 Cent, it was like handing him a new storyline on a silver platter. He went straight to social media, questioning why Kanye would stand by Diddy so publicly, hinting that loyalty might not just be about friendship but about shared secrets. And from the witness stand, the most emotional testimony came from singer Cassie Ventura. She described a relationship in which she felt controlled and coerced, painting a picture of someone who blurred the lines between business and personal life. Several other witnesses, some using aliases, claimed they too had been caught up in situations where boundaries were crossed, with Diddy orchestrating events from behind the scenes.
Was this happening in your sessions?
Well, so it is an assumption, right? So, obviously with the veil, there was a very deliberate attempt to hide his identity.
Yeah.
So they never had any interactions or even any outward conversation in my presence. So there was a routine where sometimes we'll be right in the middle of sex and he'll just stand up and walk out of the room. And she would take that cue and she would follow him out. So I did recognize, and I mentioned it in my book, that it became a habit that we're having sex on couches with sheets. We started in towels. I would climax, but she would specifically leave the room without wiping herself, without doing anything to take care of the whatever I left on her. So I assumed that's when he popped up, because once I climbed up, he popped up, he left the room, she popped up, she followed him. So I'm assuming that's when the lathering, whatever went on, happened at that point.
Okay, so at what point did he stop wearing a veil?
It was shortly after. The way that I ended up finding out who he was and they were, because they're obviously in conjunction with each other, about the fifth time we were in a hotel called the Essex House. And when I would arrive for the sessions, I would be waiting around a couple of hours. So in this specific time, they put me into an extra room in the hotel suite. And to kill time, I decided to watch TV. And this specific hotel had a welcome message, which was, so when I cut on the TV, it specifically said, Essex House would like to welcome Mr. Sean Combs.
Oh.
And I was like, whoa, like I was blown away.
Worried that if you throw little and you don't throw out allegations, but like you kind of poke fun at them.
You just ask questions.
You're not worried that it comes back your way? Like people dig up your past and try to pull stuff up?
I don't have that in my past. I'm not.
Everybody got a little bit.
Look,
like,
I took a pill, but it was for me to perform better. For her to remember, buddy. I didn't give her a drink so she forget what the happened. What the fuck is going on here, bro? Yes, I took the drinks. I gave me the fucking drug to perform. So she can remember and possibly love me for that.
Did it work?
What the fuck? Yo, bro, look, I'm doing pretty good. You know what I mean? Like, but I'm just saying, this is the opposite of normal shit that we're talking about, bro.
That is why. I don't know why it's so hard for people
so
just
for
to
people to feel like you would have something, or you would have reserved energy because you feel like you was doing it too. This is people that are looking on separation between their hardships or their the things that they got going on that would be issues, and what a celebrity's issues would be.
Wait, what is that?
They think all celebrities are doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Right, and when you see, if I wasn't saying anything, guess what? You could safely say that a person on the outskirts that is not involved in hip hop culture could think that everybody in hip hop culture is with that shit.
The prosecution leaned on these stories to establish a pattern, while the defense worked to poke holes in them and cast doubt on motives. In the end, the jury split the difference, rejecting the organized crime angle but convicting on the transportation counts. Even though Diddy was the one on trial, the fallout reached far beyond him. Will Smith felt the need to publicly shut down rumors connecting him to Diddy's social world. On stage during a stand-up set in San Diego, he got laughs by saying, "I don't even like baby oil."
The world we're in right now, it's really hard for y'all to like discern what's real and what's true, you know? And I've been seeing y'all memes and stuff. People be making memes. I see the memes. I see them now. Some of that stuff is funny. Some of it's funny. But I haven't addressed any of this publicly, but I just want to say this very clearly. I don't have to do with Puffy, so y'all can stop all them memes. I can stop all of that. I ain't been nowhere near no damn freak off. Listen, I do enough of my own. Don't be putting me in other people's. I ain't been nowhere near that man. I ain't did none of that stupid. So, whenever y'all hear it, if somebody say that, it's a damn lie. I don't even like baby oil. But I haven't said that publicly. I just said y'all the first time. I usually don't respond to dumb stuff because it's like people. It's so many things people say, so much stuff. But you know that one, your memes was doing too much. Y'all was having me mad.
But the joke had a pointed subtext. He was distancing himself as clearly as possible. Justin Bieber's name also resurfaced in conversations, mostly because of old footage that now feels different in light of the trial. Bieber's camp made it clear he's not connected to the case in any way, but in the world of viral clips, context can shift overnight. Behind the celebrity headlines, the trial also revealed glimpses of how influence works in the entertainment business. Diddy, Jay-Z, and Beyoncé have often been portrayed as a power triangle, not just collaborators, but key players in each other's public and professional image. Some industry insiders suggest their alliances were as much about strategy as friendship, with relationships used to build prestige, lock in opportunities, and protect reputations. While none of that is illegal, it feeds into the idea that the industry operates on a different set of rules, where image is currency and silence is loyalty. Kanye's involvement became even more of a talking point when a recorded phone call surfaced in which he assured Diddy he'd stand by him. For critics, it confirmed suspicions that this was about more than support, that maybe Kanye too had reasons to keep Diddy close. That's exactly the kind of connection 50 Cent has been alluding to with his list. Whether or not Kanye is actually on it is anyone's guess, but 50 has done nothing to calm the speculation. The trial also had its share of procedural drama. Midway through, a juror was accused of giving inconsistent answers about his personal background. The judge questioned whether he had misrepresented himself to get onto the jury, raising concerns about bias. Diddy's defense team resisted removing him, pointing out that he was one of the few black men on the panel and arguing that diversity was important. The prosecution saw it differently, worrying that he could become a wild card in deliberations. The juror stayed, and while the verdict still brought convictions, it was another reminder of how every detail in a case like this gets calculated. With sentencing coming up, Diddy's team is working to reframe the story. They floated a proposal for him to serve time under house arrest at his Miami mansion, undergo counseling, and take on a public role advocating against relationship abuse. It's a redemption arc pitch, an attempt to acknowledge mistakes while presenting a plan for a positive future. Whether the court will accept it is another matter entirely, especially with public opinion split and voices like 50 Cent pushing hard for accountability. For 50, this is more than just an opportunity to say, "I told you so." His documentary is being billed as a deep dive into how the industry protects certain figures, how loyalty can be bought or forced, and how secrets are used as leverage. In his view, the verdict is just the start, the opening act to a bigger reckoning. If he really does have the list he's been hinting at, and if it's as explosive as he claims, it could trigger a whole new wave of headlines and possibly even investigations. The legal chapter of this case may be closing, but the cultural one is still wide open. Civil suits are still in play. There's talk of more witnesses coming forward. Law enforcement sources quietly suggest they're not done looking into the network around Diddy, and in the background, people are watching to see who else distances themselves, who stays quiet, and who gets dragged in next. For Diddy, even if he avoids the maximum sentence, the shadow of this trial will follow him for life. His public image has shifted from one of untouchable success to one of deep controversy. In an industry that runs on reputation, that's a punishment all its own. And for 50 Cent, the moment he's been building toward for years has arrived. The only question now is whether he'll actually drop the list, or keep using it as the ultimate threat in the game of power, loyalty, and survival in Hollywood.